Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sagana Bhavatu Sagana Bhunaktu Sakaviryam Karavavagai Tejasvina Vadidamastuma Vidvishavagai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Isavasyam Idam Sarvam Yat Kinja Jagatyam Jagat Tena Taktena Bunchita Magradaha Kasyasit Dhanam Kurvanneva Karmani Jijivishe Shadakum Samaha Evam Tvai Nanite Tosti Na Karma Lipyate Nare Ashurya Namate Loka Andena Tamasa Vrtaha Tamste Preti Adikachanti Ekecha Atmahano Janaha. So we saw these three verses and we have contemplated to a reasonable level to understand. In a couple of lines, Isavasyam Idam Sarvam. This is a Mahavakyam. See everything as divine. Divinity is all. Which means if we cultivate that approach, we don't see pabam. We don't see badness. You know, Bhatram Karnebhi. And when we say that slogan, we say, oh God, give me opportunity to listen to good things. No, that's a literal meaning. The important meaning is, whatever I listen, may I interpret as a good thing. You know, there's a subtle difference. Please give me goodness. Please make my mind peaceful. All that is a good prayer. But if you turn it around, let my mind see in everything happiness, in everything goodness. So then what happens? We also relieve the God from the burden of removing the karma. That what come may, I have the capacity to see good things in things. The Isavasya is that. Seeing divinity. It's not that you're going to see everybody as, you know, your imaginary God with 4 hands. No, they look exactly as you see them. But you see the spark in them, the divinity in them. Now, before you see in somebody else the divinity, you should see the divinity in yourself. See, Atma Vidya means Vidya to improve yourself, to understand yourself. Brahma Vidya is Atma Vidya, all the same. So unless we understand that the divinity is not that everywhere alone, it is in me. Therefore, I am pious. I am divine. That means my body may be dark, you know, disabled, I don't care. But it is a house of a divinity. It is an abode of divinity. So I treat my body, my mind, my words with greater respect. You know, the very reason you wear the jewelry, makeup, all this thing, it looks like, you know, it's a vanity to attract other people. That could be an incidental benefit. We do Abhishekam, Aradhana to this body because this body is Devalaya. It is the abode of the Atma, the divinity. That's why, you know, if somebody is wearing a gold necklace, doesn't mean that, you know, they are lavish, no. If they understand this, you worship, you do puja. So, an understanding of this, even not to the level of Brahmajnanam, helps you in modifying yourself in this life. The moment you think you are divine, you have confidence. You love you. If you can't love yourself, you cannot love anybody else. If you can't be happy in yourself, you can't be happy anywhere else. But many a times, we don't see the divinity in us. That means we don't see the Atma in us. Atma is not something different. Atma is you. Atma is I. I don't see my true nature of it. Even though I go to these classes and understand intellectually, I am the true nature is Atma, but I ignore it. That ignorance means I kill the Atma. This is the word that Upanishad uses. Atmahano janaha. Those people who kill the Atma, that means maybe some of you, who don't think of the true nature of oneself, is driven by action. That action may be papa karma or punya karma, doesn't matter. But you do action driven by the desires. Therefore, what do you get? Punarapi maranam, punarapi jananam. Doesn't matter whether this is this world or Pitarlokam, Indralokam, Satyalokam, Kailasham, Vaikuntham, in that figurative sense. You have a door, you go around, come back. Journey starts. So Bhagavan has given this bhashyam, completely write off the whole thing, because this is an Atma Vidya. In a different level, Punya Karma is important to do. Always Punya Karma you should do. But you must do with the Atmak Jnanam, Vicharam. So when you listen to all this shloka explanation, it creates bhakti in you. You create a worship of Rama, the great Maryada Purushottam. Ranadhira, we learned that Dhira, Dhira. In Vedanta, Dhira is one who is giving up the own self. True Kshatriya. Giving up oneself means what? Giving my false notion of myself. Manjiva Srishti, I give up. Tena tektena. See this. That's why Isavasya Upanishad, all the Upanishads are like that, but this one is so potent, so pregnant with so many things. Every time you read it, you come with a different explanation. That's why Bhagavan, in my humble view, also the great scholars' view, Bhagavad Gita is a wonderful elaboration of Isavasya Upanishad. Okay, so we remember all this. So this is the recapping. Atmahana, so I am an Atmahana, I don't really see that. So if I don't need to kill my Atma, I must know the Atma. Therefore, you and I ask the Guru, like, okay, I'll be a good person now. Tell me what is his Atma. He says, that is called Atma Vidya. So Atma Vidya, the moment you seek the Atma Vidya, you are Jignasu, Mumukshu. You're going to be a Mumukshu. Because you are now beginning to understand the importance of knowing who you really are. This is I don't need to sell this because it is not like learning a new science outside you. Not even learning about your own family members. Everything is separate from you. Learning about yourself. So we have this thirst for this knowledge. We also have this thirst for the knowledge because We seek happiness. Now, what do we see in life? What do we need? Happiness, right? You may say we need money, but money gives happiness. I need wife. Wife gives happiness. I need children. Children give me happiness. But this happiness is not the sukham. It is shanta, shanti. So basically, we seek shanti. Shanti gives you richness. What is the troublemaker to shanti? Is the bhayam. Bhayam is fear. So shanti is therefore is abhayam. Abhayam means nirbhayam, without the fear. Now, Vedanta tells us the bhayam comes why? Like, when you are at home, suddenly you see a knock, somebody is going somewhere else. You think of somebody other than you. That's a fear. Dvai atmai bhayam bhavati. This is again a Meenalaya-Channel word. The moment you have duality, the bhayam comes in. Then you open the door, put the lights on. Oh, this is only mommy coming back from the shop. Mom, I thought I was somebody else. I was scared. Still, there is a Dvaitam is there. Mommy is different from you. But why you don't have the bhayam? Because in mother, I see myself. Isavasya, Atmavasya. I don't see a difference in them. There will be different two embodiments, but I see Advaita. You see? So if I see everybody else is my bandhu, everybody is my mitra, I don't have bhayam. So in a basic step, therefore, if you see divinity in people, everybody become a bandhu. Therefore, you have bhayam dissolved. The bhayam goes away, happiness doesn't come. Happiness flourishes because you are happy embodied. So, therefore, Atma Vidya is the Vidya for removing the bhayam. How does it remove the bhayam? Because it's going to remove Dvaitam. It's going to give you Advaita Anubhuti. So the knowledge that gives you the Advaita Anubhuti is called Atma Vidya. Hey, I'm supposed to be learning about Ishvara. Well, I know it. Ishvara is just an embodiment like you and I. We have this body in Panchabhutas. It comes and goes. Ishvara also has a body. If you want to see them as an embodied soul, or Panchabhutas. But he's called Hiranyagarbha, cosmic person. But the cosmos changes. Yes, so does the cosmic person changes. But we need him because we cannot understand the Nirguna Brahman yet. So Shankara said, Bhagavan Shankara's famous vakyam is Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva Na Paraha. We saw that in the Tattva Bodha. Oh child, Brahman is Satyam. What is Brahman means? Atma. That is Satyam. Satyam means it is there in all planes of experience. In Jagrat, Swapna, Sushuddhi, Turiyam, transcendental. But what about rest of it? Everything else is Mithya, Jagat Mithya. By now you know what Mithya is. Mithya is not just illusion or or falsification. Mithya cannot be explained. It's kind of a relative reality. Relative reality means it is not standing by itself. It is sitting on something else. Like a dream, when you are dreaming, it's real to you. When you wake up, dream is not real. So it was real and unreal. Same way, when you awaken in the Atma Jnanam, this body, this world would be seen as a dream. So Bhagavan says in Gita, when jnanis are wake up, you sleep. When you sleep, jnanis wake up. All the paradoxical language, what it means is that it is the Mithyatvam is darkness. Satyatvam is the Jyotihi. Well, then you say, if that is so clear, so assertive, why am I deluded? Because you are deluded because of ajnana. In the Shankara's aparokshanubhuti. Probably if God permits and if you have the tenacity to study further, maybe that's something which we can take up later. Paroksham, aparoksham. Aksham means the eye and other sensory organs. You see everything through the eyes, through the sensory perceptions. Aparoksham. Paroksham. When you see it through media, you got an indirect knowledge. But if you want to get direct knowledge, that means I don't need the sensory perception. That means understanding, not a good word. Experiencing, even it's not a good word. Becoming, not a good word. Being, that's a good word. Being that Brahman, yourself. I said, knowing, seeing, all this becomes an action. Being yourself, not becoming yourself. Being yourself, Brahman, Atma, is aproksha anubhuti. Then he says, ajnana prabhavam sarvam jnanena pravaliyate sankalpo vividakarta vicharo soyamitrsam. Ajnana prabhavam sarvam. Prabhavam sarvam. Sarvam, everything else that you see is born out of prabhavam, means that comes out of ajnana. Hey, what does it mean? Ajnanam is ignorance in a simplistic way, the darkness, the womb where nobody knows what is there, it's hiding everything else. Like a fetus in the womb. What is it doing? It's in the darkness. It doesn't know. The mother's womb is hiding it. And someday it produces it. Like that, the whole cosmos, the whole universe is enveloped in the ajnanam, maya shakti. It has got this through two powers, hiding and projecting. It hides everything. What is hiding is hiding our true nature. Here, don't take the jnanam as something that we don't like it. This is Shuddha Maya. Ignorance is a bliss, we say that ignorance, not knowing anything. Why it is a bliss? Because in that state, there is nothing to know. You have been sufficiently warned. In Vedanta, it's not everything is trivial. Sometimes you say, Jnanam is light. Sometimes we say avidya is darkness. Then I say everything comes from the darkness, the light. We also discussed about light is darkness, because light cannot be seen. Therefore, darkness is the womb. Sarvam Vishnumayam Jagate. The Vishnu is dark. But Shiva comes as a light. So it is both are the same in a different formulation. Vidya, Avidya, Swarupini, Ambal. Ambal is the mother, right? Jagan Mata. So when she's producing all this universe in her womb, there is the Maya. So everything comes out of the Maya. Then he says, Jnanena praviliyate. If you know the truth of what? Truth of Isavasya. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Then you realize, oh, this mother is playing, breeding, taking, and I go in a big cycle of it. But I am eternal. The moment you know that, dissolves knowledge. Now, if you don't have this understanding, what happened? Sankalpo vividha karta. Sankalpa means desires. Because you do not know this truth, there's nothing to desire because you are ekam advaitam. Desires comes in. Every desire creates actions, karta, karmani. Then what happens? Action comes in, the whole cycle. You do actions with the desired, papa punyam comes in, you keep on, death to death to death to death. So vichara hai, swayam darsha hai. So therefore, when you do Atma Vidya, should do vicharam, to inquire. How you should inquire? Ajnanam, jnanam. Avidya, vidya. Anitya, nitya. Mityatvam, satyatvam. Okay. Why I'm saying this? Because the next slogam always, we are learning Atma Vidya. We are going to differentiate from asat from sat. Mityatvam from satyam. Okay, am I qualified to do it? How do I get this? Vedanta says, look, this is not a book of chemistry or physics or economics or even a translation of verses, so that your linguistic capabilities, language, vyakarna, vidvatvam can give you knowledge. No, this is Atma Vidya, Brahma Vidya. Go and seek the truth. Why can I not read from the book? No. Even what you know, when it is given to you as a knowledge, you will learn a different inference to it. This is a very important point to hold. The reason why we go to Pravachanam and say in Bhagavad Gita, so many lectures we go listen to, so many books we read. Even Krishna repeats the same thing again and again. Why? Because he is not giving knowledge. Knowledge is no use. We will see that in a minute. It is the anubhuti. What does the knowledge leads into? We do not know when it is going to open. So, Bhagavan said in Gita, Tat Vidhi Pranipatena. I think this sloga we know it all. Priprashtena sevaya upatekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshanaha. This is important Bhagavad Gita mantra. Slogam you should remember. He tells Arjuna, Tat Vidhi, that here is that Atma Vidya, that Atma Vidhi. Go and learn it. Yes, I want to learn it. How do you learn it? Pranipatena. Pranipatena means here by doing pranipatam, that is by seeking, by approaching the spiritual master, the guru. Don't worry, you will find the guru, or he will come to you. But when you are yearning for him, you will know him and you will ask him. Then what do you do? Pariprashnena, by making very humble inquiries, request to him. Sevaya, by doing service to him. They say that you go with the darbar grass to the guru, in Shastram says, they say, okay, darbar needed because darbar is used for the fuel and it is for the tarpana vidhi and it's one of these dravyam for the yajna. And also they say, when you cut the darbar grass, the teacher will check your fingers, whether they cut, there's a bleeding there or not, because darbar grass is very sharp. If you go without bleeding, that means you are a very careful person and all that. All that upachara explanation. It's also called samid. Samid means the fuel. What does it mean? The lakshyartham is you go with the fuel in hand. Fuel here is the inspiration, the intensity of purpose, the desire to learn, the motivation. You go with the fire in you. Why it is in the hand? Because it is in your heart, in your mind, nobody knows it. You express, seek, ask. You should never be shy of asking. Please help me to understand. Please teach me. Give me a different. That question, you don't wait. Express it, because you should show that you have the desire. And why it is samid, the fire? Because what does the teacher do? If the guru doesn't come, the teacher sits there. His fire is inside. The fire, if it is not kindled, it rests. So the Sishya, by going with that intensity of purpose, the guru's vigor is rejuvenated. He creates so much interesting thoughts, mananam to himself. That's why the guru is very fond of Sishya. Sishya defines the guru. And of course, vice versa. That's why the samid is the fuel. So the same way here, Bhagavan says, go to the pranipat. You can include all this. Go with the fuel, go with the desire, Then what does the guru does? Upatekshanti te jnanam. Jnanam is tattva-darshanaha. Those tattva-darshanaha, those guru who got the atma jnanam. Tattva means atma tattvam. Darshinaha, who is a jnani. Please don't think jnani will be somewhere sitting in with the kavya dress in somewhere else. Atma jnanis are everywhere. We will see later how we identify as the prajna. So he teaches you. Okay, now I know what is Atma Vidya is. I must seek the guru. So I go to the guru. So what does the guru will say? He'll say, Isavasya idam sharvam. What is this? It means, please look at everything with the karana drishti. Don't look at the nama rupam, look at the underlying cause. I'm just suppressing everything. So it comes down to this learning. He's going to tell you ability to look at the divinity in all. You tell him, look, I have been to all of Vedanta class and I heard about this. I came here because I am not able to see the divinity in everything else. So take me one level below. And you're going to say, okay, clean up your mind, focus. Then he rings the bell. Yes, in Sunday class, I learned the second verse of the Isopanishad. I can't see divinity. I must clean the mind. To clean the mind, I should do karma yoga as a seva. Bhagavan says, I must do pranipatena sevaya. Therefore, I'm happy. So I must do karma yoga. So you keep on doing karma yoga and you get this mind. You see, why this mind is, see, in the Patanjali Yoga Shastra, we saw chitta vritti nirodham. To control the mind. Sometimes we say mind is a monkey. It drags me ever here and there. So as if mind is an enemy to us, right? Mind is not an enemy. Mind is a jadam. These are samskaras that creates the mind to act funnily. Therefore, if you recall, yoga chitta vritti nirodha. You could have simply say yoga mano nasham. He didn't say that. It's not that mind you should destroy. The word manonasham comes in different context. We will learn that. What Patanjali said very carefully, you control the vrittis that comes in the mind. I mean, mind you need. Manasaivanu drishtabhyam. Bhagavad Upanishad. That means only by mind you can realize the Atma. See how it is connection now comes. You want to know the Atma? Bhagavan says, okay, clean the mind. You do karma yoga to clean your mind. And then you learn, hey, this mind, I clean it because with this mind only, I am going to know the Atma. What it means is, I'm going to become the Atma. Or I'm going to be my own being. Atma. Well, but you said jnanam, right? Jnanam eva kaivalyam. But mind and jnanam, or intellect or buddhi and jnanam, why didn't you talk about buddhi here? Because Vedantam, Veda means to know, Anda means to end. Your intellect has to end, your knowledge has to end, because it is imperceptible. So your intellect is, you need the jnanam, you need the intellect to go there, but to be that, to become that, for being that, the knowledge has to go. So that's why mind is put as the ultimate instrument. See, we use the intellect to use the buddhi to clean the mind. Once mind is cleaning, buddhi becomes subservient to that. Mind becomes sadvaguna patram. See, Vedanta will do all this kind of ultifying. So you need to be carefully contemplate this. Manase Veda Aptavyanneha Nanasti Kinchanaha Mrityos Mrityum Gachadi Yaiha Naneva Vashyati. Again, another in Kathopanishad. This one is Nachiketa is asking Yamaraja, so look, your mind has to be the one. Nachiketa asks, how do I realize this Atma? He says, use your mind. When you use the mind, that means you use your cleansed mind. That means you, after you're achieving all this, second verse of the Isavasyam, then you will see no difference at all. Na-nasthiti, kinchint na-nasthiti. There's nothing, no difference at all. Everything becomes divine. Isavasyam will come. If you don't achieve this before this embodiment decays, before I die, if I don't have the divinity, mrityo sa mrityum gacchati. I would be just keep on going from death to death to death. So now Guru has given me the instruction to use the mind. So I spend all this time, effort into the mind cleansing. And once I cleanse the mind, I come back to the Guru and say, now tell me, I got it now. Tell me about what is Atma. Guru tests you, and he now has a big responsibility. So far Guru was just giving you homework. You're not good, you're not fit, do that, do this. And everything is on you. You do karma yogam, you do jnana vairagyam, chittavritti nirodham, and you become pure in your heart. You become a mumukshu now. And you come to the Guru and say, Guru, my mind is clean, my intellect is steadfast, egagram is there. Show me the Atma. Now you give the work to the Guru. The Guru says, oh my God, what am I going to do? Because this Atma that I need to show it to him is not showable. It's imperceptible. I can't explain any word. What do I do? That's what Vedanta is. Anirvachaniyam. Like Maya, Brahman is Anirvachaniyam. You cannot say it. You can't show it. Then he employs a technique called Adhyaropam Apavadam. We saw that in the last class. What is Adhyaropam Apavadam? It uses the inherent inability for us as a tool. So never ever complain you have difficulties in life. Never ever complain you have inadequacies. Because they are all tools to go for perfection. Arjuna's grief, had he not have the fear, Vishadam, delusion, had he not got it, you would have missed the Bhagavad Gita. Imagine Arjuna said, okay, I'm going to fight these guys with a dvesham, See, anger is got two parts to it. Rudra is anger. Krishna gets angry at Shishubala. Then you say anger is bad thing. I think it's Bharadiyar who said in Tamil, Raudram Palagu. Palagu means practice. Practice anger. Because when you practice it, it doesn't come. You invite. If it comes to you in your mind like any vritti, you have no control. Thoughts come to me and I act. I'm a slave. I'm not a master. But I think, I plan. I'm the master. That's when you do Rama Jepam, Nama Jepam, your thoughts you are putting. Think about Rama, think about Krishna, think about Atma. So anger comes. When the anger comes, then it becomes a tool. But when the anger comes on your own, without your planning, thinking, it comes with dvesham. Dvesham means hatred. When the mother chides the child, don't eat, I'm going to hit you. That anger is not a dvesham, it's with love, pyar. But dvesham is bad. So, what I was there doing there. Okay. You use this mind as a pure thing. And I'm going to take, the Guru says, I'm going to take your misconception about the world as a tool. I come back to this. So Arjuna, what happened? Arjuna's anger in the field was not with dvesham. He was not hating Duryodhana. He was hating Duryodhana's action. But Krishna knows this is irreparable. It needs to be cleared off. So he tells him, do that. So there he's got vicharam, delusion. The delusion becomes a yoga, it becomes a sadhana. Vishada yogam means delusion as a stepping stone. I got diabetic, I know. Then diabetic is a stepping stone to avoid fatty foods, sugary food. My life changes. Every grief, every failure is actually turning you around like a ping pong ball. When it goes there, it hits there and moves. You follow the truth. So misconception we have, adhyasam, adhyaropam. We saw examples of the pot, famous example. So there is one Upanishad mantra which says this one. Very interesting one. Yada swami kena pindena sharvam runmayam vijnatam syat vacharambadam vikaro namateyam mritiketeve satyam. Chandogya Upanishad. I quote this one because we're coming back to this simple pot. You should not think, I am going to the Atma Vidya class, and what the Vedanta tells you is just think about the pot, or rope. What is this? Just learning this little bit. Is it good enough? For that, in Chandogya Upanishad, Uddalaka is a rishi. His name is called Aruni. Aruni is the rishi. His son is Shvetaketu. He goes and learns all these Vedas and his master. He comes back to, whenever you finish, you graduate, you got a master's or PhD, you have a chip on your shoulders, right? Your head is bigger than your neck. So he thinks a little bit of arrogance, and his father said, okay, he has not learned. So he asked him to go and learn. So, okay, I'm not going to detail into that. He goes in several attempts and he's tried to find out everything is not the true learning. And then he says his mantra. Soumya, so means, oh my dear, mrit pandena sarvam mrunmayam vijnadam. Mrit pinde. Mrit means this earth, man, the clay. Pindam means a potter. By knowing the cause or the basis of the potter, which is clay, which is earth, by knowing that fully well, you know everything that is made of it. You know all the effects. Sarvajnam is not about learning every effect. It will never end. You will never be a Sarvajnan because every effect changes. But if you know the cause of it, because we saw in the last time, effect is cause modified with Nama Rupa, Guna Visesha. So Adhyarupam. So what it means is that if you know the gold, you know all the gold instruments. Well, I do not know how to make the bangle. Okay, that's a Nama Rupam. That's Mithyatvam. So this is how Vedanta is making you to shed things that you don't need to know. But what you should know, and you should be happy. So if I am just learning about myself, here the Mrit Pindam is this body. My body, your body, the whole body, the universe. To learn about all this, I have to learn about the cause of this Pindam. This Pindam or the Brahmandam, doesn't matter. The cause is, you think Panchabhutas, Panjikarna. But Panchabhutas are gross and subtle, not the causal. Causal is Ishvara. Ishvara is Maya Sagita Brahman. But Brahman is the cause. Brahman is Atma. Therefore, I have to learn about Atma. So when you are an Atma Jnani, you are a Sarvajna. Bhagavan Shankara was given a Sarvajna Peetham. Of course, he also proved that he knows everything, right from cobbling to building to, all that story comes in his life. You cannot ask a question, okay, does he know about Python programming, artificial intelligence, machine learning? Shankara didn't know this. That kind of a question may come on our futile mind. That's why you should understand. Sarvajnan means one who knows the fundamental truth about all creation. So here he says, do that. Now, if you and I agree to this, then the only way to learn this method that Vedanta uses, Adhyaropam, Apavadam, Siddhantam. What is Adhyaropam means? Superimposing something. This Spatikam is Parashivam. This stone is Mahalakshmi. This yantram is Sri Lalita. It's just a metal, right? But you are doing an avahanam, a superimposition. Adhyaropam. It is not a misconception. It is not adhyasam. It is adhyaropam. You see the difference? I keep repeating it because these words are important to understand Vedanta. Adhyaropa means superimposing something knowingly that it's a mithyatvam, but it is useful for me because I want to do apavadam later. I want to negate it. I put the turmeric pullayar, Ganesha, puja, and with all devotion I do arti. Everything is finished. Then agachari, you adhisthana pradishta bayami, go away, God, finish. Then what do? You take this manjal, turmeric powder, put in the water, gone. Apavadam. I don't need this anymore. The next puja, I will do it again because the adhyarabam apavadam, it keep on coming. And you will have a child in your home. And ask you, Dad, are you mad? You're just worshipping this little stone. And you will jump immediately and say, don't say this, God will come and pierce your eyes. You create foolishness in the child's mind and it's got a fear and hatred. But it's a trigger. The child says, yeah. You will understand one day. I did apavadam to it. You're right. The stone is not the God. It is adhyarop. See, you get the picture. So, all this if you understand, then we'll understand the next verses. Then you tell the teacher, teach me now. The teacher says, the Siddhantam, when you do that, Atata Adesha. It's very important mantra. The Bhagavad Upanishad, which is the elaboration of Isavasya Upanishad, there the Guru teaches in an elaborate way, Murta, Amurta, Vyakhyan, how the God comes in, he's like a Yadha Maharajanam Vasaka. He's like a turmeric color in the towel. He's like a little insect. All kinds of definition, But then he comes down and says, look, what am I doing? I'm giving you Isavasya. I'm like Bhagavan says in the Vishwarupa Darsana, I'm this month and this tree and you're looking, oh, this tree is God, or this raga is God, this flower is God. And Upanishad says, Atata, after all that, I'll tell you, Adesh, I'll give you an indication. What is Atma? Now it says, Neti, Neti. Na iti, na iti. Not this, not that. Don't be surprised, right? Vedanta means contradictory statements. Now, I miss all this thing, the previous part of this Upanishad mantras, where it goes about explaining God in so many different forms and comes down, Atata Deshaka, Neti, Neti. Why? Nyahye Tismat, Iti, Netya Anyat Paramasti. Because except negating it, there is no way I can show you the Atma. This is another important understanding you must carry. And Vedanta studies, we come with a rational mind. I have just a few weeks back a great scholar. We had an argument, and he was arguing about how Shankara was wrong because Shankara uses the Vedas are the basis, not bringing the inferences and the intellectual understanding of it. I will not go there, but what I'm saying is, knowledge is not the end of it. When you have the truth, when you have the knowledge, there is something dawns in you, that anubhuti. So Vedas are not the knowledge. Vedas are the anubhuti. That is what Shankara is saying. The interpretation of Madhvas and Ramanujas and many great acharyas in the Vakyarthams and Shabdarthams, sometimes it's very, very logical. But there's nobody logician better than Madhvacharyas. When you look at it, it looks very right. Shankara may be wrong. Everything, when you put that on the Vakyartham, Shabdartham, when you say Veda Pramanam, if you take it as the knowledge contained in the Vedas, not just the Lakshyartham, even the Tattvartham, if that is the thing, no. There is an anubhuti comes in. How do you explain that anubhuti? Someday when you look at this mantra of the Upanishad, look at it. But here it says, not this, not this. I'm going to show you what it is. The Veda is telling with the very trembling hands, it's telling, oh, my dear child, please reject everything as not this, not this, not this. Because if you are able to hold it and see, this may be, forget the God now, yeah? This is the Atma Vichara. This is about knowing who you are. Balaji thinks who I am. I think I am. Each of you think who I am. So whatever I think I am, I reject it. That's not me. This is Atma Vichara. I am not Raja. I am not this body. I am not this shirt. All this is very easy, Now you have the Vedanta baseline. Very easily you can negate the body because body changes all the time. But when you come to the mind, it's very difficult to negate. Because if I remove the thought, where am I? You cannot see. This is the question because you are the seer. But how do I know it? Veda, please tell me. I follow Neti, Neti. And one guru told very nicely, Neti, Neti, Neti. Neti, na iti, na iti. So if you take na iti, na iti. When you are doing, negating everything, see, if you can visualize it, you can negate it. Very simple, because you objectified it. Whatever you think you are, you can eject it because you think you are. There's a thought there. thinking is a thought. But there is a time you cannot negate anything. How can it be? When I have a thought, I can negate it. Thought is always coming. How is that I have something that I cannot negate? That means I have no thought. That is, between the thoughts, there is this absolute bliss is there. How can I show it to you? Only you can experience it. But how can I know that I'm experiencing it? Because I don't have a thought. Because what is experience? Experience is a thought. Experience always happened in the past. The moment you say I experience it, that means it is finished. But when I am experiencing, I'm just saying, forgive my language here. When I am in that state of anubhuti, how do I know that I am the true I am? Only here, there's a Vishishta Advaitam. This is where the Guru have to be outside of you to tell you, Soumya, Tadu Tvam Asi, you are that. Now, by having not this, I reach my being. I am under the shadow of my Guru. So he will enlighten me with the Mahavakya Tattvamasi. Until then, I do the Vidyasanam, Jnana Nishta. Now, when I do that, or to go towards that, can I have certain other indicator, a positive indicator? Because I like negative thing, I understand it. But can you give me positively? Then he says, if you want a positive one, I can only give you something which in a mithyatva. Why? Because you need to perceive it. It has to have a form. It has to have a shape. It has to have a name. You need languages. But even then, the Darsana Upanishad takes the most abstract form of defining that and giving Satyam Anantam, Satyam Brahma Anantam, Satyam Jnanam Anantam. But Darsana Upanishad says, Atanamadeyam, for that, the name that you want, it says much more clearly, Satyasya Satyamiti, Pranavai Satyam, Tesham Yesa Satyam. If you want a positive name to that, my child, that is called Satyasya Satyam, the truth of the truth. Why does it use these two words? Because for us, the truth is what we see. And this class is true. When you come and talk to me about Mithyatva, Mayavadam, I can't accept it. Because I am not in that empiric, I'm not beyond the empirical world. What's the time? So here, therefore, Bhagavan says in his Bhashyam, the truth is sitting on this truth. The truth that you see is sitting on this truth. The truth I see is what I experience. You know, I experience you, I see you in a Jagrat. I see you because my mind sees you. My mind is Jadam. You got a Chaitanya because of my consciousness. Atma. The truth of seeing you, the Satyam number 1, is built on the truth within me, Satyam number 2. The dream I have, I created the whole world in my dream. All the animals come in, my friends come in, enemies come in. I have all the experiences. I am the Shrishtikarta. I'm the creator. It is true for me during the dream. But the dream was lightened by my Atma. Satyasya Satyam. I'm in a deep sleep. Nothing is there. Mind is at rest. The buddhi doesn't know anything. But the prana is running. The body is maintained. When I get up, pratyabhijna, everything comes back. My memory comes back. There is a log entry there. You had a good sleep. If mind is resting, who is doing all this? Oh, there must be a part of the mind doing it, right? But how does the mind do? Mind is Jadam. Atma. Satyasya Satyam. So therefore you can see in all my experiences, in the Jagrata, Swapna, and Sushupti, it is waking state, dream state, and deep sleep state. Because your life is only these three. Only three worlds, All that is because of the Atma. But that Satyam you cannot see. The only way you want to understand, therefore, use a negation. So the Adhyavarupam, Apavadam, Siddhantam is about this kind of negative one. I'll just take this one and then we'll see. Sorry, I took a long time to come to the verse 4. It is necessary to do that. So, Aneja Dekam Manaso Javiyo Naina Deva Apnuvan Purvamarshita Tat Dhavato Anyana Yedi Tishtate Tasmin Apo Madarishva Dathati Aneja Dekam Manaso Javiyo Naina Deva Apnuvan Purvamarshita. We'll just see the little meaning and then we see the Tattvata for it. Here he is giving the definition of Atma. You know from all the talk that we had just now, his definition is going to be in negation. Yeah. So that now you understand why it is. What is the first phrase? Anejat ekam. Anejat means ejat dhatu means that it moves. Ja shabdam, which is born and move. Anyejat, that means something that is unmoving. Achalam. You see, the movement was what creates the world, right? Chitta vritti. Why the sleeping? There is nothing for you. There is no vritti. There is no thought. There is no thought. There is no world. What is thought? Thought is the chalanam in the mind. That's what it's called vritti. If it's like a monosyllable top layer without anything, a little bee comes around this water. The wing creates a flutter in the water shakes. Like that, the vritti comes in, mind shakes. Thought creates things. Thought creates time. Time creates space. Thought creates ideas. Ideas creates objects. Mind creates matter. So, chalanam creates things. That's why Shibabadi Nadaraja is called. His dance movement creates the cosmic creation. But here it says, unaged, unmoving. What is the implication here? If chalanam creates everything else, achalam cannot create anything else. So therefore he is causeless cause. In his power, in his presence, everything is created, but he is unmoving. That chalanam, when it happens, you create adhyasa. There's a beautiful, many times, when you take a word and if you contemplate on the word, you get more and more knowledge. We say Jagrada Avastha, Swapna Avastha, Turiya Avastha. The Avastha. Vastu means object. Avastu means non-object, not object. Or Vastu means Vishayam, Avastu means Avishayam. When you have what is a true Vastu? What is a Vastu means what exists. We think the computer exists, the table exists, but this is the Panchikaranam. They are component of the Sukshma elements. But when you go deeper and deeper, it is a Nama Rupam of the true existence, Satyam, which is the Vastu. So in the Vastu, understand this, the Vastu, which is the Atma, if you see an Avastu, a non-object, what is it called? Aparodha. You create an Avastha. That means all our Avastha is because we are seeing Avastu in the Vastu. Avastu means we see the Mithyatvam in the Satyam. That means we do not have the Isavasya. Darsana. Now, I just go back to that point, but I just want to say that the Vastu happens because it's Chalanam. Okay, Atma is unmoving. Ekam. Now, Ekam sounds positive, right? Anekam is everything else. Ekam means one. But if you need to use a clear word, as Bhagavan uses, you can say Advaitam. So one means it can be half, it can be, one can multiply. But Advaita means non-dual, means it cannot be changed. It cannot be divided, multiplied, subtracted, added. It's natural to think. Atma is inside me. Atma is inside you, inside the sheep, inside the cat. Therefore, I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Indefinite Atmas. That's what the Dvaitis think. Many Atmas are there. No. Atma Ekam Advaitam. So Anejat Ekam means the unmoving Atma is just one. Because the moment you have multiple Atmas, you can't have Isavasya. And you need to find a different kind of interpretation. God is different. You see it's a God's spark is there somewhere. If I'm just a God's spark, so be it. But I'm not happy. I want to be God. If I am a spark, I'm still little, right? So, Anejat Ekam, God is just one. So here he talks about the Nirguna Brahma. But the last, I just take 5 minutes and stop it. In the last Slogan I explained to you. Satyam, Satyasya Satyam, Satyam Jnanam Anandam. All these looks like Saguna Brahma, that leading to the Nirguna Brahma. So the Rishi knows that I can't speak of Mumukshu to him because he is still thinking in the Shagna Brahma Upachana, in Upachana. So I need to give him something which he can hold on to. So it is moving from this Nirguna Brahma definition of Anejat Ekam, Anejat Advaitam, with Upati. Upati means conditioned Brahma. I purposely avoided explaining this part of Gadharani Upanishad, where it spends a lot of time in describing two types of Brahman, two types of Atma. One that is limited, one is unlimited. One is Shaguna, one is Nirguna. All that is fine. All that is to compromise your thinking, but we know it. Shaguna Brahma means only a mithyatvam we hold on to. We will apavada when you do negate this one. But here it says, well, if you think of it as with the upati, then it is manaso javyo nainat. Okay, first one you take. It is manasaha javiyaha. This Atma that you want to know about, this Atma is faster than the mind. Ready? What is the fastest thing in the world? Not the rocket, not even the wind, not even the light. Okay, the light speed. What is faster than the light? It's a mind. Mind, I can go to Mars and come back. Light will take you a few seconds. So mind is the fastest one, as I understand, as I know. But the Rishi is saying, Manasaha Javiyaha. Javiyaha means faster. It is faster than the mind. Why? How is it true? I have already a contradiction because it is unmoving, anejat. But now he says faster. Different context, okay, I'll say it moves, but it's faster than the mind. Shankara says, if you give an example, suppose you want to travel to Brahmalokam, Satyalokam. When you go there, Atma is there. How do you understand this? Sarvagadaga is what it means. Because if you go to Brahmalokam and if you are able to see the Brahma and see these rishis, the mind goes there and sees it. How does the mind see anything? Mind is Jadam. He sees it because it's got a reflection of Atma there. That means Atma is already there. Like when you travel in the train, I always remember, every child does it. When you sit in the train and you sit next to the window, you watch these rails. The next parallel rails, it runs faster. It runs along with you. Looks like running faster. When you reach the station, that parallel rail is already there. Like that, Atma runs faster than the mind. Deva apnuvan purvam arshita. Arshita means it goes there. Purvam arshita. It has gone already. It goes faster. The mind goes faster. Its a speed is given. And then the destination, it reaches faster. Before what? Devaha. Before the Deva reaches the destination of Atma is already gone there. Now you can take this to mean like Devas don't understand the Atma. That's why Devas also Ashura. We explained that in the previous class. But here, Devas are Indriyas. Indriyas always goes around, right? Indriyas goes, I see, my vision goes, captures you and brings back to my mind. Mind is a master. Indriyas are the horses that driven by the mind. My hearing capacity goes and brings the sound to my mind. Mind contemplates it. Like this. So Atma is faster than the mind. The senses, which are the horses of the mind, cannot reach the Atma because before the senses go, Atma already gone there. Basically what it means is Atma is aprameyam. Prameya means perceptible, reachable. So all this long phrase is another simple negative definition. Atma is aprameya. It is cannot be reached. Okay. Then second line. Tad davato anyat yeti tishtati. Tad, that Atma, davat anyat. Davat means that which goes, which runs. So he said it's faster than the mind. Senses cannot reach it. Now he says, whatever that can run. Atyedi. So this Atma transcends them. Now, again, people can say it's senses, but I think slightly differently because senses are already covered by the Devas. So what else is running away? What do you think is running? You say, time is running. So here it means time run means the space is running. The time and space are the two different part of the same thing. So anything that is running, tat davatu, this adyadi, it transcends them. That means kaladit. Atma is beyond the time. That means beyond the space. You see? Therefore, you cannot say what happened before the Big Bang. Big Bang is what you put a fixed time. Time, nobody can define. But even beyond the time, it is there. But again, there's a contradiction because Vedanta means contradiction. It does all this how? Tishtati. Tishtati means it stands. Okay? How it can go, how it can stand. Achalam, but moves faster. Faster than anything else. Sarvagataka. Tishtati. This is why I think we cannot really learn by ourselves. If you learn by ourselves, if you take an Upanishad book and read it, you go mad. You throw the book away because it's complete nonsense. Full of contradiction. So we have to really learn from the Acharyas. So Bhagavan says here, Tishtati, he includes a phrase. Of course, Bhagavan can do it. Not even Upanishad uses it. He says, Tishtati Iva. In Sanskrit, the Shabdam Iva means like. Adupola, similar to. Eva is different. Eva means only. Eva means only. Iva, Ivam, Ivartham means, Ivartham is the Tatparya Nichayam here. This Atma is like as if it is running faster than the mind, as if it is beyond the senses, as if it transcends the time. Why is as if? Because by nature it is sarvavyabi. If it is everywhere, it is there, where can it move? It is all means it is not different. It is the seer means is apremeyam. That's why when you have a positive definition of Atma, it baffles you. You cannot even think. How can it fill up everything else? How do you visualize it? You can't visualize it. That's why you don't ask, define God in one word, define Atma in one word. Hereafter, think of God as yourself, Atma. In a very, very respectfully, I'm saying, the divinity in you. The vicharam that you cannot look for a positive guide. Tell me, show me. The easiest way, the best way is to negate things. Now you may have a thought coming into mind. I'm going to stop it now for sure. If I am going to say everything else, negation means what I negate, what are they? For now, you think as anatma. Because if I'm saying this body is not me, I must give a name to it. Right now, you use the word anatma. That means I create a dichotomy here. Isavasyam, everything is atma. But now I say there is something called anatma. That is not atma. Contradiction, right? Yes, we live in contradiction in Vedanta. Someday we will say Sarvam Atma, Sarvatma Jnana will come. But today we are learning. Therefore, I need to identify myself. Therefore, I create a Atma Anatma Bedam. The Anatma is everything inert, everything is objectified. I remove it. So we will do that in the next class. I took 15 minutes more. Sorry about that. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate.
Om Purnamada
Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate
Purnasya Purnamataya Purnamevavasishyate.
Purnasya
Purnamadaya
Purnamadaye
Purnamevavasishyate.
Vasishyate
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti
Shanti
Shanti Shanti.
Shanti
Hari
Shanti
Om Tat Sate.
Hari
Tatsate.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.